Your Honor, because of the fact that we will not go into operational details, and I made the call that the armed forces will answer in the light of our supporting role and not principal role to the Philippine National.
Yes, pero narito si General Larida. Anong nais niyo yung sabihin?
Madam Chair, I defer to the wisdom of the Honorable Secretary of National Defense. That is, the AFP's role is to support the Philippine National Police. Thank you, Madam.
Kahit sa Villanueva mismo. Kahit sa lugar ninyo mismo, kampo ninyo eh.
Yes, sir. Yes, Madam Chair.
Ganon. O sige, ganon ng sagot. So, okay. Residual jurisdiction na sinasabi po ninyo, hanggang 2019 na lang.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So,
yun po sabi ng Korte Suprema.
Tama. So, ngayon wala na. Maski residual jurisdiction, wala na rin.
Wala na po, wala na po.
Kasi 1 year lang eh.
Pero tandaan po natin, ma'am, na ang ICC sa buong mundo ay tinitingnan ang ginagawa ng mga individual na marahil ay nakakapanakit sa kapwa nila at gumagawa po ng pag-violate ng mga karapatan ng mga tao. Yun po yung tinitingnan po ng ICC rito eh. Kaya ho, hindi po yan ang ating tinitingnan eh. Ang tinitingnan po natin talaga, ano ba talaga ang ICC? Ang ICC ay tinatag upang habulin yung mga individual na lumabag sa batas ng tao at sa batas ng Diyos. Yun ang pagkakaunawa ko.
Kung yung ICC may jurisdiction at hindi pa nag-umpisa ng anumang investigasyon nung nakaraang taon, nung Nobyembre, anong ibig sabihin ng Presidente nung may pagbabago? Nung sinabi niya na hindi tayo hahadlang, pero hindi rin tayo magko-cooperate. Ba't niya sinabi yon? Biglang iba na ang tono, biglang nagbago. Kayo nga nagsabi, dapat talaga nagbabago ang palaisipan ng tao.
Ganun po talaga dapat po, hindi natin itataga sa bato ang pwede ho maging hindi totoo.
Siyempre natututo tayo sa
natatandaan po tayo.
Tama. So, ang ibig sabihin, ang Pangulo nagbago rin ang palaisipan.
Marahil po.
So, ang sa kanya, may jurisdiction na pala.
Hindi ko pwedeng sabihin ng state of mind niya.
Opo.
Pero sinasabi ko lang, bilang tao, lahat po tayo pwede magbago ang pag-iisip.
Hindi ko naman hinihingi yung state of mind po. Ang tinatanong ko lang, maliwanag naman yung statement na sinabi niya na pwede tayong magpapasok ng ICC sa ating bansa. Pwera lang kapag illegal ang ginagawa. Tama?
Hindi ho natin sinasabing imbitado sila rito. Hindi ho natin sinasabi na haharapin natin sila. Ngunit ang tao ho ay labas-pasok sa Pilipinas.
Pero hindi
tayo
po
po ay mga being very hospitable people, we welcome all people who want to partake of the beauty of our country. Ayun po yung ating pinag-uusapan dito.
Pero hindi po ba yung mas maagang mga statement, yung mga unang statement, talagang hindi daw siya lalahok sa anumang investigasyon. Ngayon, hahayaan lang niya. Tama po.
Marahil po, marahil.
So, nagbago.
Sabi ko nga ho,
Nagbabago naman nga.
Nagbabago naman ang pagtingin natin lahat sa buhay. Hindi naman po ang pagtingin natin nung tayo 20 anyos at ngayon ay pareho pa rin.
Sana naman
tumatanda rin po tayo. Natututo rin po tayo.
So do you mean to tell me that after saying 100 times that the ICC has no jurisdiction, the President at the 101st time changed his mind and determined that there was somehow some kind of jurisdiction that allowed them to come here and investigate?
I cannot comment on his state of mind when he said that.
I don't think it's a question of state of mind, sir. It's statements.
His statement would speak for itself.
When did the executive then change his mind? Given that we are admitting he changed his mind, at least to some degree.
Well, I cannot agree to the question, ma'am, is very vague, if you ask me.
Hindi, nagbago, di ba? Nung una sabi niya talagang haharangan niya.
Because I cannot, as I said earlier, ma'am.
Tapos biglang sinabi na bukas ang Pilipinas. Kung nag-iimbestiga sila, papasukin. Pwera lang pag may ginagawang illegal o may krimen.
Again, hindi ko pwede magkomento sa state of mind niya. Kung paano ho nag-iisip ang
Hindi ko
Pangulo,
naman tinatanong kung galit, wala naman akong tinatanong kung masaya. Yun ang state of mind. Ang tinatanong ko, doon sa sinabi, hindi ba maliwanag na nag-iba?
Sabi ko nga ho, lahat tayo nagbabago ng pag-iisip sa pagdaan po ng panahon.
Okay.
Tayo po ay natututo naman ng unti-unti at nauunawaan natin ng gusto ang mga pangyayari sa paligid natin.
Kung aaminin natin na nagbago ang pag-iisip, bakit? At kailan nagbago yung pag-iisip natin tungkol sa jurisdiction ng ICC? Bakit? At meron bang dahilan? Baka may alam ang DND, baka may alam ang NSC, para maintindihan natin kung saan na tayo ngayon. Kasi tayo ay nag-iimbestiga in aid of legislation. Gusto ko malaman saan ba tayo patungo. Ano na ba ngayon? Palibasa, eto nga, admitido natin, nagbago. Kung nagbago, saan na tayo ngayon?
Siguro po yung pag-unawa po ng ICC jurisdiction. Kasi nung nag-aapela pa tayo sa ICC, na sinasabi natin na hindi tayo saklaw dito. Marahil yung isang pagising natin sa katotohanan na ang hinahabol ng ICC ay hindi naman bansa, ngunit individual. Marahil yun po yung pag-unawa na nagbago sa ating lahat. Kasi hindi naman po estado natin ang hinihimok ng ICC, kundi po yung mga individual dito na nagkasala at yung naging biktima po ng mga krimen at ng mga pamilya po ng mga biktima ng mga pagpatay ng panahon na yun.
Okay. At sabihin natin may limited cooperation sa ICC. Sabihin natin, nung 13 November, si ASEC ES Bersamin pala, ay nagsabi that if the ICC refers the process to Interpol, which may then transmit a red notice to the Philippines, the government will feel obliged to consider the red notice. Parang may ganon, may statement ba dyan? Yung kay ES Bersamin.
Alala ko po yung statement na yun.
Panaalala po
Opo,
niya.
opo.
Oo. So, yung pagbabago ay malinaw. Kasi pati si Executive Secretary, diniin na nagbago nga talaga. Tama po ba? Kasi sabi niya, lalo kapag may pulang notisya.
Marahil dahil ito sa mga karanasan natin sa mga nakaraang buwan na tumutulong po ang Interpol sa ating bansa. Kaya ang pag-alam natin sa Interpol ay ganun-ganun na lamang. Hindi po natin pinababayaan na magkasamaan ng loob sa Interpol sapagkat sila po yung ating inaasahan sa maraming pagkakataon.
Tama, talagang lumalahok tayo at umaasa sa Interpol.
So did you or any of the people who were serving the warrant explain to him the elements of the crime?
Yes, sir. The whole
So
warrant was actually given to them.
So just because it's simple naman, what are the elements of the crime against humanity na may murder? If you explain to him, then you can explain to me, di ba? So what's the elements?
During that time, sir, it was not me who attempted reading of the rights. It was the prosecutor general.
Yes, sir. But sabi mo, you know the elements of the crime.
I read to him in toto what was written
Yes.
on the warrant, sir.
I read the warrant. Wala doon yung elements of the crime.
We did not say that I know the elements, sir. I just
Yes.
read to him exactly
So-
the charges in accordance with what is written in the
Yes,
warrant.
sir. I'm not arguing on the opinion and the legal kasi ito factual pa lang. But my point is, when you arrest a Filipino citizen for theft, for inciting to sedition, etc., meron po tayong legal maxim that ignorance of the law is not an excuse thereof. So, we're, as Filipino citizens, dapat alam natin yung law, di ba? So, pag inarrest mo yung isang tao, ano yan, bagransya? Sandali lang, sir. Na-repeal na yung bagransya, hindi na ano yan. But I'm arresting you for what? For theft. You don't need to read the elements because alam na ng Pilipino yung nature and yung cause nung theft. But since this is a foreign court, and it's not even in the Rome Statute, yung elements. It was passed later on. So ang point ko, was the accused, in this case former president, aware of what he was being accused of? So I'll stop there, sir. Factual lang naman. And even if you serve the warrant, kung hindi niya alam at hindi alam ng lawyer niya, how do you expect him to run to court to get legal remedy? So going back, Attorney Alexis, sir, so is the ability to seek legal remedy part of due process? Meaning, if you deny me, if you're accusing me of something, my warrant of arrest, and you don't allow me to go to Philippine courts, is that denying you due process?
That's involved.
Yeah, I'm asking a general question. I think
the question
FOJ
that you
naman is
posed, yes.
listening and they will answer. So, going back to surrender. So, if my foreign court ngayon, I looked, I have it somewhere here, pasensya na kayo magulo. Senator Trillanes was saying in May 2024 na 3 batches of warrants to. First daw is si PRD, after that daw, Senator Bato, Senator Bongo. Excuse all of ourselves kung minsan may konting emotion, but we just want to clarify this. So, yun yung context ng tanong ko, Tony Alexis, no? So, kung halimbawa may warrant for whatever, for Juan de la Cruz, kinuha siya based on that warrant, pero hindi siya binigyan ng enough time or enough opportunity before a Philippine judge, aren't we denying him due process? Because pagdating dun sa foreign court, as SOJ said correctly, and I agree with him, iba language, iba procedure, and everything. So isn't a Filipino citizen, doesn't he have the right under the Constitution to be judged first by Philippine law before he's brought out to a foreign country or to an international tribunal to face what their interpretation of the law is?
If I may answer,
Yes.
Your Honor, if you look at the consistent policy of the Constitution, when there is a deprivation of liberty, the consistent policy of the Constitution is to involve the judiciary. The exclusion, complete exclusion of the judiciary in the deprivation of liberty of any citizen is anathema to the principles of the Constitution. And you can see that in the different provisions of the Constitution. You can see that in the requirements for the warrant of arrest, due process, liberty of abode, criminal proceeding, criminal due process, even in the period when the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus is suspended, the Constitution mandates the government to file charges against the person. So
Last two
always.
questions. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
Constitution-
Yeah.
okay.
Last
Thank
two
you.
questions or three, then opportunity for SOJ. No? So, yung pong, nagugulat ako kasi even those who claim to be human rights activists, pinopost nila to sa Facebook. Again, hindi ko nila lahat. I admire many human rights activists, but even some na very well known, no? If I'm not mistaken, even former Senator De Lima, more or less may ganitong tema. Bakit? Si Duterte ba may alam na due process nung pinatay silang mga to? Diba? Bakit siya ngayon humihingi ng due process? So, my next question is due process only for the innocent? Only for the saints? Or even, first of all, President Duterte is presumed innocent. But assuming 5 times na convicted drug lord, rapist, torturer, etc., nahuli ng PNP, under our Constitution, dapat ba may due process pa rin siya?
Yes, Your Honor, if you look at the text of the Constitution, there are no names that are excluded from its application.
So even if a person, whether he's a private citizen or government, is accused of not giving due process, that's the beauty of the Constitution, di ba?
Opo.
That everyone should be given due process.
Opo.
Oo. So I just want to make that clear kasi nga, sabi ni Secretary De Lima, walang due process sa kanya. But if you go before that, nung iniimbestigahan pa lang niya si President Duterte when she was CHR and she was DOJ, wala naman siyang final na kaso. So sabi naman ni President Duterte, nung mayor pa lang siya, wala akong due process, sinasabi na niya na guilty ako. So nung siya naman yung naging presidente, eto naman nakulong, ang sinasabi naman niyang walang due process si Duterte. So ang point ko lang, if we as Filipinos do not demand due process for everyone, DOJ and the government is not saying that they denied, but I'm just saying, no, mali yung argument sa Facebook na pag ikaw hindi mo binigyan ng due process yung kalaban, ikaw hindi ka na pwedeng kumuha ng due process. Iba po yun. Meron doctrine sa batas that those to come to court should come with clean hands. That's a different application. Anyone can come to court asking for due process, di ba? I wanted to clear that up lang, and I ask you that, Dr. Alexis, for 2 reasons. One, attorney, because you're a constitutional law professor. Number 2, if I ask SOJ, baka ispin nung iba and they tell na meron o wala si Duterte. I'm not talking about Duterte, I'm talking about every single Filipino deserves due process. Okay. My next question is, will the Interpol, or I don't want you to make a judgment sa Interpol, no? If any foreign entity, no, comes to us and asks for an arrest, is it non-cooperation with them if we say may provisional arrest, we have him in custody, but a Philippine judge has to decide whether or not we can turn him over to you?
If I may, Your Honor, international conventions actually respect compliance with the domestic laws. Even the Rome Statute, in the cooperation, the requirement is application of the laws of the country, of the custodial state. So it's up to the custodial state how to comply. There is no issue that we should comply with all these international obligations. That's not the dispute. The dispute is how to comply. And the manner of compliance is governed primarily, of course, by the Constitution, the highest law of the land.
And that's precisely why the diffusion notice stated provisional arrest or extradition, because so this is the parallelism of what I want to make. If the ICC knows na pwedeng provisional arrest or pwedeng extradition, they give it sa Interpol, hindi naman magagalit ang Interpol kung nagbigay silang red notice at ang sagot mo sa Interpol, we have him under custody but we cannot release him to you unless a Philippine court so orders or unless we give him enough time to seek legal remedy. Because of course, if the person doesn't seek legal remedy, para na rin niyang sinurrender. Because the whole argument is that we're just helping Interpol. So I just wanted to clear that up. And again, ang hirap ng Facebook o media interview kasi hindi nakakasagot yung kabilang side. Eto, we can, I'll stop there, Madam Chair. So the point I want to make, and this is my personal stand, and I hope in a less emotional and more academic